10 design files, a design system, a homepage, 4 YouTube thumbnails, a LinkedIn banner, a print-ready CV, and a 40-page technical guide. All of it out of one conversation. My name is Damian Savic. In this video, I'm going to show you how one design system turned into an entire brand. No designer, no Figma, no template. Let's say you're a developer with a channel. You need a portfolio site. You need a thumbnail for every video, a channel banner, a LinkedIn banner, and a CV that doesn't look like a Word document. Every one of those is a different tool, a different file, a different set of decisions. So here's what actually makes sense. Your thumbnail uses one font, your website uses another, your CV uses whatever Word gave you, and your LinkedIn banner is 2 years old. Nothing is wrong individually. Together it doesn't read as one person. A designer solves this by building a system once and applying it everywhere. That costs 2,000 to 8,000 euros and takes weeks of back and forth. I did it in one conversation. For today's video, I'm using Claude Design on the Claude Max plan running Opus 5. Claude Design gives you a canvas instead of a chat window. You describe what you want, it builds it, and you correct it visually. You can do a lot of this on a Pro plan. Max matters here because this session produced 10 files across a lot of iteration. One honest note before we start. I typed all of my prompts in German. You'll see them on the screen in German, and I'll read the English version out loud. This is what we're creating today. A design system. Color ramp, semantic tokens, typography, scale, spacing, every component in every state. A homepage that uses nothing but those tokens. And then 4 thumbnails, 2 banners, a CV, and a technical guide, all built from the same system. 10 files, 1 chat. Let me show you how. The workflow, 4 phases. Phase 1, the design system. Phase 2, the homepage. Phase 3, thumbnails. Phase 4, banners, CV, and a print document. Phase 1, the design system. This is the only phase that really matters. Everything after it is a variation. Here's my first prompt. Build my concept for a design system and a homepage as an HTML file with hover behavior and animations in the UI and UX. That's the whole prompt. 1 sentence. And the first response tells you it landed. All specifications are here. Guidelines plus brand kit I'm building directly. No clarifying questions. No, tell me more about your brand. It just went. Quick detour, because people always ask where those documents came from. They came out of 8 viral prompts I found on Threads. 8 prompts promising a $10,000 agency website, 3JS, particle systems, glass morphism, cinematic 3D worlds. I kept their structure, visual identity, architecture, motion, storytelling, stack, performance, workflow, audit. That checklist is genuinely good. And I replaced the execution completely. 3 reasons I wrote all 3 into my own guidelines. 1, it contradicts the positioning. I sell production-ready software. An award-style site signals creative agency. 2, it costs exactly what I need. I have 108 articles that people find through search. 3JS scenes cost you a load time and crawlability. 3, and this is the honest one, that 3D look has itself become the template. It's not a differentiator anymore, it's a signal that somebody followed a trend. Okay. Back to the build. Done. Look at this. The color ramp first. 8 steps. Paper, mist, hairline, ash, slate, steel, graphite, ink. That's the entire palette. No accent color in the ramp at all. Underneath it, the semantic layer. Background, border, text, text muted, text faint. Components only ever touch this layer, never the raw values. Why does that matter? Because switching from light to dark is now one change. 1 line, everything follows. And there's one rule in here worth stealing. Ash is not a text color in light mode. In dark mode, it's the default text color. Same token, opposite job. Write that kind of sentence for your own system and you stop making contrast mistakes. Now, where does color actually appear? One place, syntax highlighting. Plus, relevance bar in the search and status dots in the diagram. That's the complete list. Color only shows up where real data is. Typography, Archivo, JetBrains Mono. Archivo is a variable grotesque with a wide axis. Headlines run in the wide cut, body text in the normal cut. One family, two widths, which is visually what I'm actually selling. One person covering the full width. And then Claude gave me something I didn't ask for. 4 open decisions for my own documents wired up as live switches. Light or dark, achromatic or accent color, Archivo expanded or neutral width, 12 column grid on or off, motion off. It found the places where my own documents contradicted each other and turned them into toggles. Phase 2, the homepage. Same file, second view. Hero, from UI to database. One line underneath, stick line in mono, 2 buttons. My first correction was one sentence. I like symmetrical design. It would be great if the hero were symmetrical with my portrait centered. Hero is now symmetrical. Portrait centered on top, below it kicker, headline, lead, and both CTAs centered on one axis. Everything else unchanged. That's the part I care about. Second correction, and this is the one that made the page. Now improve the UX. The sections below the hero are boring from a UX perspective. The style and the font are high quality, but the UX isn't. 4 sections went from readable to operable. The architecture diagram. 4 nodes, keyboard operable. Layer counter. The Y end-to-end section became a toggle. 3 service providers or 1 person. Click it and the chain visibly breaks apart. The sales argument gets demonstrated instead of claimed. The 4 service cards expand. The proof numbers count up on scroll. 900 milliseconds or instantly final if you have reduced motion turned on. And the search got example queries as chips with a hit count and a response time above the results. Motion is locked down across the whole page. Hover 120 milliseconds. State changes 180. Scroll in 260 once per element. Command K opens the search. Then I exported it. Done. One file, 558 kilobytes, runs offline, fonts, runtime and every interaction embedded. Phase 3, thumbnails. Now here's where it gets interesting. I still had the same chat open, so I asked for something completely different. For the following video I need a thumbnail in this style, and underneath it I pasted the entire script of my self-hosting video. I didn't explain the style, I didn't reattach the brand kit. 3 boards, 1280 by 720, ink background, Archivo at 700 weight and width 120 in caps, mono sublines, hairlines, no shadows. Signal yellow appears on exactly 2 things, the price badge and the arrow. It also gave me 3 headline options and told me which one to use. One server, goodbye Vercel, I control everything. And it argued against one of my instincts. It told me not to put Nuremberg in the title or the thumbnail. The location is a detail for the description, not a reason to click. Now the honest part. This took about 15 rounds. Not because Claude got it wrong, because I kept changing my mind. Listen to my actual feedback. I'm too big, smaller, but in color. The arrow should point at the Netcup logo. Move the Netcup logo so Vercel and GitHub have the arrow right next to them. The gradient needs to be wider. It needs to start a few pixels further right. A little further left, and then we have the perfect graphic. Export the generated thumbnail as a PNG file. That's the workflow. It's not one prompt, it's a conversation where you are the art director. Then 3 more thumbnails, same pattern. LinkedIn to Claude, arrow in yellow, headline CV in minutes. Badge, not an evening. 2 offset CV pages behind me as a backdrop. My AI artist, Desetka. The persona behind me in front, so it reads immediately that the persona was built out of me. Claude times pencil. 5 pages, 3 hours, badge, no designer, and a browser window behind me instead of an abstract grid. 4 thumbnails, same system, 0 re-explaining. Phase 4, banners, CV, and a print document. Same chat, 4 more asks. Channel banner, 2560 by 1440, and it handled the thing everybody gets wrong. Everything readable sits inside the phone safe area. 1546 by 423. The portrait and the backdrop bleed outside it on purpose, so they only show up on TV and large desktop. There's a guideline switch built into the board that shows all 3 safe zones. LinkedIn banner, 1584 by 396. My 5 competencies carried over from the old banner, minus the icon set. Everything starts at x equals 396, so my profile picture and my name never cover anything. Then the CV. Build my CV in this style, but in the light design. To a 4 pages print ready. White paper, same hairline grid, archival caps for names and positions, JetBrains Mono for dates and section marks, yellow only as a marker on the current role. And then I did something I hadn't planned. I pasted my entire publishing package for the self-hosting video, 7 phases, all the commands, all the troubleshooting, and asked for it as a print-ready document in the same style. Dark title page, like the thumbnail. Then light body text, code blocks on mist background, running header and footer on every page. Each phase starts on a new page. Code blocks and tables don't break. That's a document I would have paid somebody to lay out. Now, honest results. 4 things that didn't go smoothly. 1. The AI artist thumbnail failed twice. My feedback on the first version was blunt. The arrow is hanging in the artist's face. The logos aren't centered or cleanly positioned. Second version put the logos on a white bar. Also wrong. 3 attempts to get it right, and it's still the weakest of the 4. 2. The gradient on the server thumbnail took roughly 10 rounds on its own. That's not AI being slow. That's what art direction looks like when you're specific. 3. One check failed silently in the middle of the session and had to be restarted. And 4, the one that matters if you try this yourself, at the end I asked Claude to export the whole chat. I can't read the chat history as a text. I don't have access to it. What I can give you is the complete project. All design files, exports, uploads, and assets in a zip. So it exported the work, not the conversation. Which means if you want your prompts documented, you save them yourself as you go. Now, here's the thing. Once you understand the pattern, you can apply it to anything. Build the system first, then every asset is a variation. 3 rules make that work. 1. Front-load the input. My prompt was 1 sentence. The attachments were 1,000 lines. That ratio is the whole trick. 2. Stay in the same chat. Every thumbnail after the first one cost me a single paste because the system was already in context. The moment you open a new chat, you're re-explaining your brand from scratch. 3. Write down what's forbidden, not just what you want. No shadows, radii only 2 and 4 pixels, color only where real data is. Constraints are what make an output specific instead of generic. I've prepared all my prompts for you. Every single one is in the description. Copy-paste ready. The 8 original prompts are from 2 Threads accounts. Both are credited in the description. Go read them and form your own opinion. Now it's up to you to write your own brand documents before you write a single prompt. Brand kit, design guidelines, project description. That's maybe 2 hours of work, and it changes every AI output you get afterwards. And this is version 1. From here you could add social post templates, presentation slides, invoice layouts, same system, same chat. The key insight from today's video is that AI doesn't give you consistency. A design system gives you consistency. AI just applies it faster than you could. My name is Damian Savic. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful, subscribe for more AI tutorials. See you in the next video.